Hello and welcome to another Steps of Sussex channel episode. Hello, how are you? I am back. I made a video previously about Prince Harry's letter regarding African parks. Do go and check that out. I said I'd be back. I didn't know when, but it's pretty much been about half an hour. So anyway, here I am. I'm hoping many of you can join. This is a live chat now. I'm going to find the live chat room and see who is around. We had quite a few people in the previous video, so I'm hoping that we get quite a few people live now. If not, and you're watching on catch up, I know the time difference, wherever you may be, might be very different. It's kind of like mid-morning here in the UK. So yeah, I'm aware that the time difference might be a pain in the posterior. But anyway, if you are watching on catch up, please feel free to leave a message and comment. I know the comment section gets very active and chatty, so please feel free to leave a message or a comment. Right, the purpose of this video is actually Carolyn Durran's tweet yesterday. Now, yesterday, in case you were living under a rock, it was Prince Philip's 99th birthday. A very special birthday, obviously. Next year he is 100, the big 100, which I'm sure will be a cause for big family royal celebration. Now, Carolyn Durran tweeted yesterday on June the 10th. She says, and I quote, "A source close to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex confirm that Prince Harry and Meghan with Archie will speak to the Duke of Edinburgh, hashtag Prince Philip, today to wish him a happy 99th birthday." And then she included a series of photographs, including the brand new picture that was taken last Monday of the Queen and Prince Philip at Windsor Castle in the quadrangle. And obviously, I will say at the outset, you know, it is normal. I say normal because the word normal doesn't really apply to the royal family. Their version of normal is very, very different to everyone else's version of normal. Now, most people, you know, do not have Instagram accounts that have millions and millions of followers, and then they kind of, you know, tweet happy birthday wishes to family members. You know, most people are not in that circumstance. I'm sure it's safe to say. But for the royal family is a firm. It is a brand. And one of the things that we in the UK are used to seeing is, you know, the royal family, especially in the days of social media, expressing their happy birthdays, their congratulations, anniversaries, that kind of thing over social media. We are used to that now. Obviously, in the days before the internet and social media, that didn't happen. It was all, you know, it was all private and all just expected, really, that the royal family would just wish each other a happy birthday and that kind of thing. But obviously, since the royal family has embraced the digital age, you know, social media, congratulations and happy anniversaries and happy birthdays is commonplace. Releasing of photographs is commonplace. We're used to it by now. Now, as we know, Harry and Meghan did have their Sussex Royal Instagram account, which rapidly grew in terms of numbers. Now, they have not been using it. We do not know what is going to happen to that account. Will they be allowed to, for example, just change the name and then continue with the amount of followers they've got? I don't know. I don't know if you can. To be honest, I've never tried to just change the name of my own personal royal_reviewer Instagram account that I do post under. I've never tried, so I don't know if you can literally just change the name to something else. So I don't know whether that would be a conversation they would have to have with Instagram. I don't know if Instagram has allowed that for other people to just completely change the name. I have no idea. So perhaps that's something they're looking into. So finally, when they do settle on kind of how they want to brand themselves, I know we have Archewell, but I don't know if that's what they're going to call their social media handle. I don't know. We don't know. So yeah, getting back to that, they are not obviously using social media as a platform at the moment. That's kind of part. So they weren't able to, in the same way that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge or Princess Eugenie, for example, were able to make a public happy birthday post. They were not able to do so. Which takes me back to the Carolyn Durand post, which I find really strange. I mean, I'm not even going to hide it. I find it really, 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 really strange that Carolyn Durand has tweeted that a source close to the Duke and Duchess confirm that Harry and Meghan will wish the Duke of Edinburgh a happy birthday. I mean, not only is it a given, I think, that members of the royal family would wish a happy birthday, I just find it really strange that this is the vehicle that's possibly being used to do it. Now, I've written down some possible points to note. This is an open discussion, and I do value an open and welcome your opinion. So, there's one of three things that I think Carolyn may have done here. The first one, she may completely have made it up. That is a distinct possibility. She may very, very well have just made it up. You know, the likely scenario is that Harry and Meghan and Archie would contact Philip to wish him a happy birthday. So, is it just wild speculation and just a wild guess? So, has she made it up? That's one point. The second point is, has she actually spoken to sources close to the Sussexes to confirm it? So, again, who are those sources? And we'll get to that in a moment, because the question, people are having this open debate about these sources. I'll just park that for a moment. So, has she actually spoken to sources close to the Sussexes? Who are those sources? Are they, for example, close friends? Are they family members? Are they associates? Are they staff? And the third point I've got is it from Harry and Meghan directly? I mean, we don't know. We don't know if it's either of those. So the fact that people are actually questioning who these sources are. Oh, but by the way, back to the point. We don't... I mean, do we need to know? Do we really need to know? Is it actually news that Harry and Meghan will speak to, will Harry contact his grandfather on his 99th birthday? Is that actually news? Is it even worth tweeting? I mean, isn't it just a given that Harry and Meghan and Archie would do that anyway? I find that whole tweet just really, really, really strange. The whole thing is just completely strange. Why would you announce it? And I'm not saying that Harry and Meghan told Carolyn Durand to announce it, because they have their own spokespeople. If Harry and Meghan really, really wanted to announce it, they have their own spokespeople who are obviously in contact with the media organisations that they wish to speak to, obviously excluding most of the British press, the tabloid press. So they do have their own, even though they don't have Instagram anymore at the moment to use as a vehicle, they could have announced it. They could have said, we wish the Duke of Edinburgh a very happy 99th birthday. They could have done that. So I find it really, really strange that Carolyn Durand is tweeting about it, saying that she can confirm something that sources close to. I mean, who are these sources? Yes, I just saw a comment pop up. This is the lady that co-wrote the Finding Freedom book with Omid Scobie. So, going back to my point, because some people are questioning who these sources are, was it made up? Does she actually have sources? Was it even Harry and Meghan directly? This is what people are saying. So, it throws doubts up on the Finding Freedom book, because people are now at the point... I've been reading comments on different threads and different posts. People are really wanting to know, who are these sources? Can this upcoming book be trusted? And I know that a lot of supporters, myself included, of Harry and Meghan, a lot of Harry and Meghan fans, a lot of hashtag Sussex Squad fans have been questioning this book in terms of, can they believe it? Because Harry and Meghan fans, Harry and Meghan followers want the truth. That is what we have been crying out for from day one, since all the media hassle that's been going on. The one thing that we have really wanted to know is the truth. We want the truth. So we are questioning now whether or not we can put our faith and our trust in Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand, in that, is this book actually, as they are putting it out to be, the definitive, the true story of what's gone on behind the scenes? Is it? We don't know. I mean, okay, I realise they are not going to reveal exactly who their sources are. I get that. It's confidential. It's confidentiality. I get it. But like I said, you know, in terms of writing the book, who are these sources close to? People have been saying, I've been reading the comments, some people have been saying, is it close friends? The sort of friends that would have perhaps been the godparents, for example. Is it close friends? Is it colleagues, i.e. people that they've worked with on the charities? We know that Omid in particular has kind of followed Harry and Meghan around on their certain engagements. So is it colleagues? Has it come from work colleagues? Has it come from, for example, staff that have worked with Harry and Meghan over that time period? Omid Scobie, I think, has said that it's taken about 2 years to write this book. So it's been a work in progress for 2 years. So is it staff that have been associated? I think one thing we do know is this upcoming book is not an authorised biography. A biography is a book that someone else writes about someone else. So it's not, we know that Harry and Meghan haven't put their name, their stamp directly on this book. But people are questioning, you know, how much faith we can actually put in it. And I think that's true across the board. When I read it, I will be looking at it with severely critical eyes. I really will. And on this channel, if you want me to, I can do a chapter by chapter review of what I think about the upcoming book. But I will be looking at it with severely critical eyes. You know, I really, really will, as I'm sure all of you will. So I think it's time. I think it's time that Carolyn and Omid tackled the issue of, can people trust this book? I mean, for a start, let's put it out there. They don't care. It's not going to affect sales. The book is already a bestseller. It sold, you know, pretty much became a bestseller, on the first day that it was announced of its release. So whatever comes out, it's not, you know, it's not going to affect the book sale. The book is going to be a runaway success. It already is a runaway success. But I think for the fans, I think Carolyn Durand and Omid Scobie owe the Sussex fans a little bit more detail about how much trust we can put into this book. And I implore Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand to tell us a little bit. I know they're not going to reveal exactly who they are, but it wouldn't hurt to, for example, say that Harry and Meghan were aware of the sources that they were talking to. Not that they necessarily authorised it. I don't think we need to go there, but I think it would quell a lot of speculation if they just announced, for example, that Harry and Meghan were aware of it. And, you know, if they can't do that, then, to be quite honest, how much faith, how much trust can we actually put in the writings of the book? It boils down to, did they just make it up? You know, have they got sources close to? Or even, there is the distinct possibility that the sources close to Harry and Meghan may even be Harry and Meghan themselves. We don't know. It's happened in the past. Think back to Diana with the unauthorised biography as it was put out there by Andrew Morton. You remember the one, the big explosive book back in the 90s. Turns out that the sources close to the friends were actually Diana herself. Diana did a series of interviews and she spoke to friends, which then passed on that information directly to Andrew Morton. There is the distinct possibility that that also may have happened. And I hope that I have explored all of the possibilities behind this book. I think I have. I think I've been very, 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 very fair. But it's got to the point where people want to know, can they trust this book? And I'm not speaking about the rabble that hate Meghan. I'm not talking about the general public. I'm talking on behalf of the people that like the Sussexes, the Sussex fans, the Sussex stans, the Sussex squad. I am talking about you, because I don't think it's fair to not know if what we're reading should be taken as the gospel or not. I'm sure you can see my frustration. I'm sure you can share my frustration. Right, rant over. I am going to go to the comment section and just see what people are saying. Yes, by the way, it is still raining here. Right. Okay, Maddie says, at this point, Maddie's comment is right down the bottom. At this point, I want the truth, but trust Omid and Caroline's book much more. Whatever drivel's coming from Lady Colin Campbell. Juicy tea. No, I completely agree. You know, I am most definitely more likely, because Omid has followed, and Caroline have followed Harry and Meghan around on their different engagements. Lady Colin Campbell has not followed them around, so I don't know where she is getting her information from. And I say that with the most respect. So yes, I agree with you, Maddie, on that one. But even so, people are questioning these sources. We want to know the legitimacy of, can we believe it? Because otherwise, it just comes down to just another book. It's just another book. So how can it be pitched as the definitive, the truth, the true story, the definitive? We need to kind of know how much trust. They don't have to say if Harry and Meghan have had any involvement in it. But I think they could say, perhaps they could just come out and say, Harry and Meghan were aware of the sources close to them being involved. Not that they authorised it, but they were just aware of. And I think just saying that they were aware of it, or something similar, would just give it that little bit of legitimacy that we could actually believe it. So yeah, I think that's where we are with this. I want clarity. I want the truth. I want to know if what I'm reading is true or not. And I'm sure you all do as well. Diane says, Sussex fans are well-read and careful researchers. We do not depend on others telling us what to think. I am most definitely glad and thankful that I have people watching, that I have viewers that are free thinkers, that do have their own opinions and their own views, and do, you know, hold people to account. I think, you know, being held accountable for what you say is key, and I am really, really glad that, you know, Sussex fans are critical of what they see, what they read. That most definitely is something totally that I welcome. Sonia says, stop gaslighting. You previously were empathetic that Harry and Meghan were involved in the book. Now you're trying to force. No, you've got it entirely wrong. In previous videos, I questioned, just like I'm questioning now. I think I'm just phrasing it in a different way. My opinion has not changed in any way, shape or form. Originally, I thought that perhaps Harry and Meghan may have had some kind of involvement via their friends. However, it turned out the book was not an authorised biography. So we cannot say that. We cannot say for sure whether or not they have. But we need to know. By the way, I don't actually think there's anything wrong if Harry and Meghan had done a book. You know, I really don't. I see no reason why, having stepped back from the royal family, they couldn't do a book. That's one of the kind of things that I think they could do in terms of work. So no. I mean, in fact, it would have been a lot easier if it had have been Harry and Meghan that just did an autobiography of their experiences. And I think a lot of people would have appreciated and would have found, would have been able to really get behind their book if they had put it out themselves. So I see no reason why they couldn't have put a book out. However, when we're talking in the context of somebody else writing one, we need to know, as a reader, how much of it we can believe. And that is the position we find ourselves in now. We are questioning it. We want to know. And like I say, I'm not talking about the skeptics. I'm not talking about those who follow those disgusting YouTube channels that always slag Meghan off constantly. I'm not talking about those people. I'm not talking about the haters. I'm not talking about just the general population who'll just read it and, you know, might believe it, might not believe it. I'm talking about the Sussex fans. I want to make sure that people are reading it and that they are getting the truth, which is what this book is pertaining to be. It's pertaining to be the definitive. And I want to make sure that people actually, are getting what's being alleged, what's being put out there. Right. Velva says they will write a book in the future. Well, we don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, certainly if a book actually came from Harry and Meghan, then, we would most definitely know that it was from them. And I see no reason why they couldn't do one, to be quite honest. Right. Okay. Kind of rant over. Look, I've been feeling like that ever since I read that tweet from Carolyn. And I just thought it was just odd. It was just really strange, that she was tweeting about that. But also, another point is these sources that Omid and Carolyn are talking about. Harry and Meghan will know via whatever Carolyn and Omid have put in the book, or in this instance what Carolyn has tweeted. Harry and Meghan will know if their friends have been talking to Omid and Carolyn, because it will have that level of detail. Because obviously, Harry and Meghan have probably spoken to their friends and close people about, circumstances, stepping back, the work they're doing, all this kind of thing. So, even if Harry and Meghan have had no involvement whatsoever with the book, even if they were not even aware that their friends or whatever have, may have spoken to Omid and Carolyn, they will do after this book. Because if the things in the book, are true, Harry and Meghan will know that. So if Harry and Meghan weren't happy with what their allegedly their friends or sources close to have been saying, I doubt they would stay friends with them for very long. So it's at that point where we just need to know, not necessarily who the sources are, but just can they be trusted? And that's it. Right. I'm skipping down to the bottom. Kathy G says, if the book is favourable, Sussex fans will love and others will hate, and vice versa. The world will never know the sources. I mean, I don't know. I think the key to this is Omid and Carolyn. Omid and Carolyn could sort this out. If they just said, that Harry and Meghan, for example, were aware that they were talking to sources close to them, that would sort it out. It wouldn't say that Harry and Meghan had sanctioned the book, but it would at least give that air of legitimacy to the book that we could actually trust in, that we could actually trust that it was true. However, if this, if they can't do that, then the other option is that they've just made it all up. Or maybe they have just spoke to, people on the fringes. Or even, there is the possibility there was even a mole. A mole in the hole. Maybe an ex-member of staff or an ex-friend spoke to them. I don't know. I mean, that's another possibility, maybe. Right, and I'm going to leave it there because there's quite a lot to kind of digest. But I just thought, you know, I would make this video, putting it out there, because I get the feeling, I read the comments, not only on here, but on all kinds of things, you know, Twitter, Instagram, comments in newspapers, and people are feeling like this. And I'm not just talking the haters, I'm talking, you know, people that support Harry and Meghan as well. So hopefully, you know, we've kind of spoke about things that are actually on people's minds. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to park it there. I welcome open discussion on this subject. So please be respectful in the comment section. You know, obviously respect other people's views, even if they differ from yours. But like I say, I hope that I've explored all the different options, possibilities. And yeah, I strive for clarity. I strive for clarity and honesty in all of this. So I open the debate to you. Be respectful, be kind, be caring, stay safe, and yeah, leave me a comment. So if you've enjoyed this video, found it useful, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also, of course, hit the bell so that you know whenever I pop up and have an online rant. So, from me in rainy Shropshire, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.